Hi everybody, this is Gary Dean, and this is our nightly video report for Tuesday, July 26, 2016. So we continue to see this diverging market where the Dow has been red, and they're really piling into the lagging indexes, and that's been a typical topping pattern that we've seen really for the last 3 years. And what I mean by that is you have the Dow and the S&P that have made new highs, and then from there they kind of go sideways to down, and then the small caps, which always have been lagging, then start spiking up. So I call it the dumb money because it's primarily the money managers that are behind the major benchmarks, so they can't just go into the S&P because they missed the entire move. So they have to go into a more riskier asset class like the small caps or something like that. So it means that dumb money is in this market right now. It's piling in. It's meant. Top is usually not that far behind. This is something that I haven't really shown my breadth charts in a while, but again, we're in the red zone for the S&P, and we're in the green zone for the VIX. Every time you have tried to buy when we had the VIX down here, you got absolutely crushed. I don't believe this time is going to be any different. Each day that I see especially the indexes diverging from each other, and then short-term volatility going down every single day, it means that nobody is protected in this market. Everybody's looking up because I've seen sentiment readings. The most bullish sentiment readings I've ever seen since I've been doing the other website with Sentiment Timing with Woody Dorsey. I've never seen 7 consecutive 90-plus bullish readings, and now we have the VIX that's at low, so there's nobody's protected with the VIX. You have the S&P that's in this red zone. And you have the dumb money chasing the indexes that have been lagging to try to play catch up. This is all the ingredients for the next crash, and I don't know when it starts. I don't want to sit there and say, okay, it's starting tomorrow. It could. I think today's weakness that where we bounced off the lows, I think that was just mainly because the Fed meeting is tomorrow. But what is the Fed going to say? There's nothing they can say to surprise anybody to the upside. Now, what may happen is the algorithms get programmed to buy no matter what they say. But as far as the actual Fed, they can't say anything that's going to be bullish as far as, what are they going to do? Cut that, that quarter point that they did? No. So the shocker would be if they say that they're looking to cut another quarter point, because I don't think anybody's anticipating that at all. But it's still, the bulls love to run the markets into these Fed meetings, and they did it. They held things together today. So anyway, VIX at support. Typically, we get these big moves. They become a lot bigger than anybody anticipated. The fact that this has not had any kind of breather whatsoever. I've been saying that I'm anticipating one of these crash-like moves. I think this one is going to dwarf the previous ones that we've had. And again, it's mainly because of the internals that I'm seeing, as well as, sentiment readings. So put-call ratio, everybody is in buying calls right now. So nobody's protected on that end of it. Another thing is when we start seeing the put-call ratio start moving up, as the indexes are moving up, we get this move afterwards. Well, we're getting that now, and just notice, here we had this move. It's not something that you really go crazy trading off of, but you can see it turns, and from there we've had pretty sharp declines. But my point is this, is that everybody was on the call side of things, so they're not protected on that. Here we're looking at the bullish percent, And you can see that that's actually diverging from the S&P here. Another warning sign, because the last time we saw it really diverge was here. We had this quick drop, and now we're right back to diverging again. And you can see what happens when we, when this when it's diverging and things are not all running in sync. And that's pretty much what is going on right now, because you wouldn't have the Dow minus 0.1% and the small caps up 0.5%. So it's just, you know what I'm saying, that there's not there's nothing that's in sync. And when this happens and nobody is protected in the market, it's when we see these massive drops. So in my eyes, I'm not even questioning, whether this is coming or not. I'm very, very confident it is coming. My question is when. It could start tomorrow and make perfect sense. It could go down and then back up for the remaining of the week and make sense. But this move is what's next on deck. And it's going to be coming a lot sooner than some people are anticipating. We have bearish divergences on the daily charts here. We're very, very overbought as well. We go to a 60-minute chart. This is just a massive, massive divergence. Usually when it creeps down into these little tiny things right here and we're heading up, this is when the drop happens. And I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, to see it happen as soon as tomorrow, but I'm not, I don't want to set any wrong expectations. This pattern, looking for the S&P to trade all the way down near the 1920 area. It all depends on when it comes down to this trend line, but this is the next move would be coming down to the bottom of this reverse symmetrical triangle. 15-minute chart, bearish divergence, we had them all the time. This is just going sideways, and one thing that traders make mistakes of is that when you're in a melt-up type market, there is no such thing as sideways. So typically when we see sideways move, they actually trap bulls, and what happens is we get a move to the downside. And that's what happened going back to, let me just go here, this area here, where we went sideways and everybody was anticipating the next move to go up, and they got caught on the wrong side, and we saw the S&P drop over 200 points in just 4 days. I would not be surprised to see the same type of move. And really, it's just because nobody's protected. Nobody's really interested in this market ever going down again. But nobody really knows the reason why it's going up. And everything that I'm seeing are throwing up massive, massive, massive warning signs. So if you're long, just keep a stop in place. Wait and see where this thing ends. Every up day that I'm seeing, I'm just adding a small short position, and I know that I'm just going to wait for gravity to take its place. And plus, I know everybody's looking up, and usually when everybody's looking up, I'm looking down, and that's usually the direction it's going to be going. So with that, let's see what they do tomorrow heading into the Fed meeting, and have a great night.